One of the big fights in the fiscal cliff standoff has to do with cutting entitlements. And one such program is food stamps. Though well-intentioned, it has grown dramatically, up 39% since President Obama took office. And it is exempt from the sequester cuts that are part of the fiscal cliff. Well, tonight, correspondent Shannon Bream on the expensive history of a costly benefit.
The precursor to today's food stamp program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is rooted in the late 1930s and early 40s, when federal officials looked to solve two problems at once by making sure urban families in need could obtain some of the surplus that rural farmers needed to unload. The program ended when the imbalance between the need and surplus was extinguished. It was restarted in the 1960s and has existed in several different versions since then. By 1970, there were 4.3 million recipients. Fast forward to 2012, that number is up by more than 1,000% to 47.7 million.
It's a guaranteed thing. It's an entitlement program. That means that if you meet the income qualifications, the government must give you the money, whether the government has any money to give you or not. If they don't, they have to borrow it.
That's right. Spending on food stamps, which hit nearly $75 billion in fiscal year 2012, is currently non-negotiable. It's exempt from automatic sequestration cuts should they kick in. And despite Republican Senator Jeff Sessions' efforts, it's not on the table as part of the efforts to negotiate closing the growing gap between revenue and spending. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, which administers the program, says, quote, "The increase in SNAP participation during the 2008 to 10 period of economic decline, which included the recent recession, was consistent with the increase during previous periods of economic decline." But as the unemployment rate slowly drops, the number of those participating in SNAP continues to rise. Skeptics point to one key factor.
A lot of people don't realize one of the provisions in the 2009 economic stimulus bill was to essentially eviscerate all the work requirements for food stamps. So today, in most states, there is no requirement whatsoever to work in exchange for these benefits.
The USDA maintains that the SNAP program does have a work requirement for able-bodied adults who do not have dependents, and it's up to the states to enforce the specific guidelines. Chris?
Shannon, thank you.